What going on? What going on?
Oh, hey, y'all.
Hey,
Welcome to the show, everybody. Old Man Theater. Just because you can't see everybody in your screen, just to let you know, even though the video was playing, the intro video, I can still see everybody at the bottom of my screen. I just want you to know that.
I don't give a fuck. Oh, oh,
Anyway,
Oh,
anyway,
my bad,
welcome to
my
the show,
bad.
everybody. Tina planned out the
okay.
topics for y'all tonight.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. So she found out some stuff that was going on, some more hate laws that was passed in
Hold on, wait a minute. What the hell is going on with Tina's picture?
what?
Nothing.
Half, yes, it is. Half your head, your upper part of your head is moving. The bottom part of your body is just sitting there.
Oh, I don't know. It ain't doing that on my screen.
None of mine
It
either.
ain't matching up. Look at her head moving side to side.
It's
Do you
it's
see that,
normal.
my friend?
It's normal for me, Theater.
It ain't normal over here.
Ooh, child.
Here you
Okay.
gonna put on your old man glasses.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with no glasses, dude. It's like, is your head moving from side to side?
Child, what? You know what?
Yeah, but see, uh, it's showing right now. Your from your eyes on down, it's showing a still picture,
Oh,
and then
that's
your
sad.
head
Theater.
is moving above that.
That's only your screen, sir.
How in the fuck can it be only my screen and it's her picture? Anyway, go ahead.
uh,
Because everybody was so sickly last week. I was Thursday. There was no episode on Thursday because I was just tired as hell and sore. One thing I realized before we get too deep into the show, one thing I realized, y'all age done finally caught up with me.
good.
My
Now it
ass is
just
out
went off.
there.
See, now your picture is freaking out.
It's only on your screen, sir. It's normal on mine. Uh, so we had
I just
a snowstorm over the weekend, right?
Out of
So I
nowhere.
went and I
I'm
know I
gonna
came
come back.
home and I had shoveled, right?
Mm.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm still hurting, y'all. I ain't know that snow was heavy as it was. I'm still hurting because I was like, well, I'm already halfway through. I ain't freaking go in the garage and pull out the snow blower stuff because I'm halfway through. Lord, I should just start with that damn snow blower. I'm getting too old for this. My back is still hurting. Oh, it's catching up with me, y'all. It is catching up with me. But just to
Mhm.
get Tina caught up to speed, Tina caught up to speed. So I told her about last week where on the last episode I had talked about how they had passed a bill in Iowa where they were not recognized same sex marriage there. Uh, they passed a laws in Tennessee which ban drag shows near the churches and schools, and in public. And it's a 15-year sentence if they are caught doing it anywhere in those places. Uh,
Mhm.
what else was there? Oh, they banned if the clerk who hands out the marriage license, who's in charge of issuing people a marriage license, that person chooses like, oh well, you get married, you don't practice the same religion as me, or I don't believe in interracial marriage, or I don't believe in same sex marriage. They could deny you a license based on their belief on marriage
Where was that at?
in Tennessee.
In Tennessee. That's right.
Yeah.
Tennessee cutting up, ain't they?
Yes, they are. I don't know who voted those people in. It wasn't me. I just wanna put that out there. I ain't vote those people in.
I did,
I'm pretty sure you did.
so they can
They're
go to
they
jail with Trump.
I mean Trump ain't going to jail.
I want that motherfucker to go to jail, hell, or somewhere.
It might be the latter.
I'm so sick of that motherfucking orange haired piece of shit. Oh, I'm venting again. I woke up with violence today. I'm sorry, y'all.
I was gonna say, tell us how you really feel.
Mm,
Yeah. Mm, fuck some shit up.
mm,
Oh,
mm.
my bad.
And Tina has sent me a video where in Congo, they made homosexuality punishable by death now.
Yep, they voted on that. Sure did. It's punishable by death, or I think they can get prison time as well, right?
But it's like 50 some years. You might as well say
Yeah,
life. So either you
yeah.
go to jail for the rest of your life or they kill you. That's the punishment for being, homosexual in
Well,
Congo.
that's partly slavery shit, right? Or we tell you what to do and how you live your life and fuck the rest.
I mean, yeah, I mean the U.S. government trying to bring that back now. Now you can't raise your kids no more. You don't have a say so when it comes to your kids' health care. You don't have a say so. They pretty soon they're gonna say, well, oh no, you don't have a right to go ask another physician for a second opinion on your cancer diagnosis. You just gotta accept the one that you have. Like pretty soon, that's what the government is gonna be doing.
It's not like that now at certain places.
I mean, only
For
time I seen somebody like turn down getting a second opinion. Oh wait. How can I do this without violating HIPAA?
I'm
you can do
trying
it
to
without
help.
violating HIPAA. So when you get a
Oh no,
second
I mean for me to
opinion,
tell the story.
oh, I was gonna say I can do it without violating HIPAA.
No, so I'm just gonna say I was gonna say patient. The mom of patient X didn't like the results that the doctor said that about patient X being brain dead. So the mom wanted to bring another doctor in to do an examination on patient X to see if the patient was really brain dead, and that she basically got denied. That and then in the current facility that the patient X was in, saying we're not going to pay for an outside doctor to come in and do a second opinion.
Right. So so this was hospital, I'm assuming, and not like
It,
hospice at home.
it was hospital.
Okay, so yes. So all doctors that work at facilities have privileges to
Hmm.
actually work there. Okay, so that's number one. You really not gonna bring an outside doctor in to get a second opinion. If they were gonna get a second opinion, it would have been with somebody that was already on staff there. Number two, it depends on if the insurance is gonna pay for it. Okay.
Hmm.
Number
Man,
three, even if a doctor within the facility had been consulted with, usually what they do before they decide to take on a case um, is they review all of the electronic medical record and they decide, well, does this warrant a second look, or does it not? So so the doctor that she, even if for whatever reason an outside doctor came in, or they said, okay, yeah, you can get this outside doctor, it's up to the doctor if they actually want to give a second opinion.
Yeah. By the way, this was gun related. It wasn't due to cancer. By the way.
So nine times out of ten, they're not going to bring in an outside doctor. That's just not it. Usually there in a hospital setting, there's multiple doctors that round on all patients. So you are
Hmm.
already consulting with a group of specialists, right? Because something like
Hmm.
that, you need interdisciplinary care. So if they're brain dead, it's a lot of everything. So they're on life support. So you got kidney doctors, you got every doctor under the sun coming to see that patient, right?
Hmm.
So they are already getting second opinions with certain things. So if a person is brain dead, they're going to be intubated. If they try to extubate them and they're not breathing on their own, there's that. Then you got your neurologist that run their scans and your tests and stuff like that. And then a lot of times they have all of that data, and they always usually will get a second opinion on something that's serious.
Hmm.
So there you go. That's the way. That's the way healthcare works.
And in America, you're just not gonna. The government don't want you to have no rights to do nothing. You can't, like I said, you can't get second opinion. You can't raise your kids. Your kids want to become trans, and you okay with your kid becoming a trans person? And you say, you know what, I'm gonna sign off on it for this to happen. You don't have a say so no more.
bitch.
So I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. You do, just not in all states.
Right. Yeah, you're right. All states. So far in Tennessee, and I think Kentucky, and there's one other state where they made it where parents don't have a say so basically in that kind of stuff no more. And they keep telling us that the reason that they are passing all these laws is we need to protect the kids. To be honest, it's not. So I watched this this comedy show, right? And then the guy was like, if gay people or whoever y'all are claiming, the transgender people, whoever y'all are claiming, are no drag queens. So if y'all think these drag queens who are reading to kids are out here molesting and raping these kids, he was like, first of all, drag queens are full of glitter. So you don't know that a drag queen did something to this kid because there's gonna be a bunch of glitter all over the kid. So he was like, but he said the people y'all need to be protecting the kids from, which is the church, who is still to this day molesting kids and all this other kind of stuff. And they're talking about,
Some churches. Let's be clear about it. Some churches, not all churches.
Well, should I say like them churches that have like church dioceses and all that kind of that still believe in like the old Catholic way, Catholic churches. Those churches are the ones that are really known for and have been sued for, having them kind of people within the church and these type of things happening. And I said, like, y'all are doing nothing to protect these children from these priests who are constantly molesting kids and all these other kind of things. You guys are worried about these drag queens reading to kids. Y'all making laws to say that it's to protect the kids from drag queens reading to them, basically. The drag queens going into the schools and reading books to the children is going to turn the kids gay. That's how they looking at it. That's just like in Florida, they got the whole "don't say gay" thing. Or if you go down to Florida and you accuse somebody of being a racist or a homophobe, they can legally go and sue you for $30,000 and win. They signed that into law.
Well, it is defamation of character. So if it's not true that you're racist or homophobic, I feel like that law was already.
If the person come up to you and say, "Hey, you're a nigger," you say, "Oh, you're a racist," they can sue you for calling them they can sue you even though they called you a nigger.
That's fine, let them sue me, but being racist.
Thanks for telling me. I'm a racist,
and they'll win the case.
They won't be able to spin it.
And
they ain't gonna win that because it's too many laws for hate crimes.
But the Florida made it a law where they can win.
Well, Florida really did something stupid.
Florida made it a law where people can openly be racist and you can't say anything to them. And if you say anything to them, they can sue you.
Okay, so nobody's gonna live in Florida or Tennessee, is what you're saying.
Pretty much. That also happening in Florida, I had mentioned on the last show. They currently right now have a teacher shortage, and right now, the governor has made another law there. So now everything that a teacher wants to do or use that involves books, magazines, videos, basically YouTube videos, everything, it has to go through the system, and everything has to be scanned into the system. Every single last thing. So if a teacher go out and buy a book for every student in her class, she has to have that book scanned through the system, and it takes 2 weeks. The whole process takes about 2 weeks for them to get back, or whether or not they can use this material in their classroom.
The world is ending,
and that's only in Florida. When the world in Houston, in Houston for the Houston public school system, the government there took over the public school system, so they basically fire like they school superintendents and everybody who runs the school system there, and now it's being ran by the government. So now, basically in Florida and Texas, and in Houston, the kids are only being taught what their governor or whoever is in charge of that is letting them be taught. So
money and control.
Yeah. So like,
So, in my honest opinion, I don't feel like all of this stuff is gonna stick. Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a bunch of people that's gonna rally up and sue, right, for these types of laws and stuff like that, and possibly get them overturned. I think it's
so
just gonna take a little bit of time.
So the latest things is because like a lot of these people that's in government thinking like Gen Zs who are coming into voting and stuff like that, they thinking like, oh, they're gonna vote Republican because they think like, and now it's this whole thing where it's Gen Zs is like fuck around and find out. So what that meant was what's been going on with that is like this last election they thought like, oh, these the Gen Zs are stupid, they're not going to vote, they're not going to do anything, and the ones that do vote, they're going to vote Republican. Turned out they all voted Democrat.
Why would they
And
vote Republican?
exactly, like the things that the Republican Party stand for, this newer generation, like we're more open, we're more exclusive, more, what's the word I'm trying to
Inclusive,
think of,
inclusive.
inclusive. We're more than that. um so while we vote for that, like just like the Republicans think that the woke culture is fake. It needs to be stopped. It's the worst thing in the world. Like the train derailment that happened in Ohio. They blamed that on woke culture. They said if the company who was responsible, whoever the company was responsible for the train derailment, if they wasn't too focused on diversity, that wouldn't have happened.
Heh, I remember you saying that. So I just feel like people can say a lot of things that doesn't mean that it's true, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like that feel like that's a lot of what's going on here.
Yeah, it really makes you think like these people are really stupid.
So I don't feel like they have any like basis or grounds to make some of these laws.
It's going to eventually have to go to the Supreme Court. Like even they trying to set the bill for like the whole same sex marriage. Even though they passed the bill at the federal level that protects same sex marriage, they're going to find some way where it's not written in the Constitution from 1749 to every 1800, whenever the fuck the thing was written, saying that it didn't say that back in 1700, so now it's illegal. So they're going to try to find ways. So that's how Roe versus
Wait,
yeah, was overturned because they said in the original Constitution it's not written for abortions to be legal.
mm,
So I don't understand how they passed so now and this stuff is getting overturned. So a lot of laws that has been passed over the last 100 or so years that pertains to how life is now. Basically, these Republicans are going to court and finding a way for these to go to court and get challenged and somehow make it all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court say, "Oh well, it's not in the Constitution from 1700, so it's illegal." So now they want us to go back to living like we're in 1700.
good luck with that.
Exactly.
Well, I gotta order
I
me
ain't
some
going back.
1700. I gotta order me some 1700 clothes.
I ain't
I
going
gotta
back.
stop dressing up to date. I gotta go to 1700. That's all they doing. They just bringing us back. They pulling us as being
Hey,
black people back into trying to pull us back into slavery. They
Hmm.
cutting everything across the board, and they making up these different laws and rules to pull us back in. That's the whole thing. The way I look at it, I mean, you jumping from being racist to how somebody carry themselves. You shouldn't have to worry about being worried about if somebody want to be transgender or straight or what the fuck they want to do. That's their own decision. But now you want to rule how I carry myself and how I live. That's crazy.
Hmm.
It's crazy. I'm loaded up. That's all I gotta say.
Um, and then there's this thing going around. Somebody is creating a panic out here in the world. Um, so I got asked a question today, and I don't know why people just feel like I'm just that damn smart. Like I just know every damn thing.
I keep
Um,
telling you a dumb fuck, but they don't believe me. Anyway,
I got asked a question. It was like somebody told me that I need to go take my money out of my retirement account in my bank account because the banks is gonna take all our money because the banks is broke.
What?
I said, man, I have not heard of anything of this nature.
So I think we talked about this before. Maybe we did, where it was 4 major banks that was bailing out one specific bank.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I don't know if anybody like followed like that type of stuff. So I got stocks. So every time the Feds raise interest rates, I get a notification on things. So the federal government has been increasing interest rates on like home loans, like all types of loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's their way of protecting the banks, right? So they increase what the banks can charge for interest, and usually that interest goes back to the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they're trying to prevent. That's how they're trying to prevent the banks from failing, because the banks federally insured are insured by the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but they use that money to make investments.
Well, usually, everybody's bank account is federally insured up to like $100,000 or something like that, right? For most common bank accounts, like personal bank accounts. Like business accounts probably are a little bit more. I don't have a business account, so I don't know for sure. But I feel like they're trying to counteract the banks going broke by raising the interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 cents on that.
And when it comes to like the only people who was in jeopardy in that situation was people who had like a bunch of startup companies, and they had like hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in that bank. And the only thing on the reason why that them people who money was at risk. So like if you got like $3,000 in your bank account or $250 in there, your money is safe because the bank has enough money. If you was to go and withdraw that money, the bank has enough money to cover what you're withdrawing. It's the people who were withdrawing, millions of dollars out of the bank, which caused a bank to fail. They were withdrawing millions of dollars out, so that bank did not have the money to cover what people were withdrawing out of that bank, which was causing that bank to go bankrupt. So if you bank with like a credit union or like somebody like Chase, Wells Fargo, or something like that, and you got less than $1,000 in your bank account, it is safe. Your money is safe. They have enough money to cover your $1,000.
Well, I guess I better go take that dollar out then, because I'm a little bit over. I'm just saying.
I can't take y'all nowhere.
I keep it at the crib.
That's crazy old man.
I'm just saying, if $1,001, my shit is in jeopardy. I gotta go. Matter of fact, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the time machine. Get that $1 out. Oh, they don't give you
if it's a time, I was gonna say damn time machine. If it's an ATM that allows you to take out $1, you gotta be. It should be ashamed of itself.
They got the $5 increment still out there.
What I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna take out 20. I'm gonna take out 20 and I'm gonna deposit $19 tomorrow. That'll work.
You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
Or wait until the bank open tomorrow. Go there and fill out a withdrawal slip for $1.
They gonna look at you and throw that damn paper back at you.
I wish the fuck they would. I withdraw all my.
Make me have to work just to withdraw.
I withdraw my $1,001 up out of that motherfucker. Now.
So one of the crazy, sad stories is out there. Instead of protecting children from drag queens, can y'all protect them from mass shootings?
Exactly. And crashes that involves kids.
What is y'all do? I mean, I think me and Tina might have talked about this a long time ago. Like the only reason why it's standard for every newer vehicle to have a rear camera, like a backing camera on their vehicles, because I think a parent was backing out the driveway and they didn't know that their child was behind the vehicle and they hit their child and killed them. So
Oh
that's
yeah, I
why.
remember something like that.
Okay, yeah. So that's like the last thing they ever did to pass to like try to save children. Since then, I don't know what laws has been passed to keep kids safe. I don't know because obviously, and Tina was telling me earlier they made it easier for you to get guns somewhere, and now they got easier, faster access to get these guns and shoot up people. Although you don't have to legally buy guns. The people get them off the streets and stuff. They can't do everything. They can't. There's always a way for somebody to get a gun. But
Street
hell,
sweeping.
if y'all gonna do anything, at least the people who do go and buy guns legally, make sure y'all do a hell of a background check or something. Hell, do a psychiatric eval or something. I don't know. Do
Don't say
something.
psychiatric because then again I have to give up all my shit. So don't be saying no psychiatric. Y'all could scratch that from whatever the show.
So
No
is that you admitting
me and
that
Brody
you a little...
be out of business. Me and Brody be out of business. We won't be able to pimp them hoes and slap them hoes and smack them hoes. I'm just saying. I understand what you're saying, but don't include us in that. I'm gonna have a talk. I'm gonna call Brody and tell him that you trying to get us banned.
He ain't gonna do nothing but call cousin Junebug. If he can't get it, then he don't call cousin Junebug. Oh my God! Speaking of, so we was having a situation at work with another department, right? And we was like, oh Brody, we gonna have you. We should call cousin Junebug up here to come up here and take care of him. He was like, well, we gotta figure out how to get the cousin Junebug off their ankle bracelet first before we. Oh, damn it, Brody! Like, I swear, sometimes, like, I keep telling y'all, like, the conversation with this man start off so normal. It starts so normal. Somewhere along the way, it just goes to the left, and you just look at him like, what the fuck? It just came out of your mouth.
And he be dead serious.
Dead serious.
That's just like won't crack a smile.
That's just like we was in somewhere and there's a group of people and he well, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna say that on here. There might be people watching and no, I ain't gonna say that on here. I can't set my pimp up like that. I can't set them up like that. But back to these children. What are we talking about the children? Oh, they need to figure out some way to save these children from mass shooting. Because Tina, she's smart as hell, y'all. So she told me about how the latest one in Arkansas,
Tennessee.
Oh, in Tennessee, it was a trans person who was 28 years old, and they went to that schoolhouse when they was in elementary school, and they went, wait, hold the hell on. What teacher they hated that much that they had to go back 25 years later and shoot the damn school up?
That's what I was saying earlier. I don't know what the motive was. So I sent you one video that showed the suspect going in. Her thing, I think her name was like, it started with an A. But she shot the front doors out and went in, and she had two guns, but in the video I saw one, and that gun probably was like something you going to war with, right? So she went in, and the video showed her walking down the hallways, looking around, opening doors with the gun ready, right? So then the second video I sent you showed the police showing up.
So I watched them with the police.
And I was really confused as to why it wasn't the SWAT team, but whatever. So police showed up and they were running through the hallways, and you could see a child blurred with the face blurred out on the ground. There was another child they ran past in the hallway. She was up against the wall, just kind of like this. And they went upstairs and they found her upstairs, and she was returning fire, and they shot and they killed her. Like in the school. So 3 kids got killed, 3 staff members got killed. Not sure how many more were injured, but that's sad, man.
It just
You
makes me
know?
wonder how sick people are to go on in school and just start shooting innocent kids. And it's a lot of these schools shooting where they were adults. So like, what made you just decide I'm free to go to an elementary school and just start shooting?
And I feel like the most notable ones are usually elementary schools, aren't they?
Yeah, because I feel like they've been like elementary, middle schools. It's like it's been a couple of high schools, but I feel like they have been mostly like the Sandy Hook. That was the elementary school. The like one in Tennessee was the elementary school. I believe the one that happened in Texas was late last year or something like that.
Columbine,
Like, well, Columbine was a high school, I think.
it was a high school.
Yeah.
Really?
The one that
Yeah.
happened in Texas, the Uvalde, wherever that's called, I believe that was the elementary school. So it's like, why are they targeting elementary school? It's like, why these are kids?
Well, you
like,
got-
I don't
you
get
got-
it. Like, they're really young. Like, what did these little ass kids did to you that you never met?
But
They
you gotta
can't
think about it.
can't fight back.
The elementary
Mm.
schools to me, are less protected than high schools are. You have more security in high schools and colleges and shit like that than you do in elementary schools. So that's an easy way. That's the way I look at it. It's less protected.
And I feel like why being in elementary school it should be protected like that. But the way how the world is today, you have to put it in that like elementary schools. Because I believe I was watching a video on TikTok, and it's like when there's an active shooter in a school, like the whiteboard that the teachers write on, they made those bulletproof now. So like it pulls into like a thing that goes around the door, and they can lock the kids inside the classroom with the thing, and it's bulletproof.
Yeah,
Like-
and then they also make things that the place that I work in, we have some things installed in the floor to where if it's an active shooting thing, we drop this look. Well, just a minute.
So it's crazy. It's like
We drop this little thing right here down it, and it connects to the door and to the floor. And it keeps the door from being open. So therefore, if it's an active shooter, granted we got little windows on the doors, but I guess it's a little bit more safe. It's a little bit more
It's hard for them to
safer
open the
than
door instead of you trying to move furniture to block the door from them getting in.
right.
And all
But
that stuff.
in the same token, if you break the little window, you can still stick your arm in there and wave the pistol or gun all over the place. So
You can.
it's a something that they ain't never gonna be able to really resolve, to be truthful, but it's one way to kind of slow it down, I guess.
I mean, I guess that'd be enough time to like, I guess, stop the shooter from getting in or whatever, or at least make them work harder to have to get into the room. And by that time, hopefully the police have showed up before he had a chance.
Do
to
they
actually
have
get into the
silent
room.
alarms in the classrooms that the teachers can push?
We got a new system here where I'm at, set up to where I think they got little hand remotes. And if it's an active, if it's something going on, they just push the button, it lets off a siren. I don't know if it goes directly to the police station or not, which that should be another route, but I don't know if it goes directly to the police station or not, but it alerts the whole building.
So we have buttons in each where I work at. So I work at a clinic. And we have buttons in each department that we can push to lock all the doors down. Like all the heavy fire doors.
Mm-hmm.
So we push the buttons and they lock automatically.
Oh.
Damn, I need one of those in my bedroom.
Where I work at, they just make an announcement. You better hope security willing to put their life on the line to protect you.
Hey, find
Not
out where
gonna happen.
they got
They
that.
got shelter in the what's the name, don't they?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Find out where they sell them at. I need one for my bedroom. Lock down the windows and the doors in case I don't want nobody to escape.
God damn it, theater.
I'm just saying.
Mm.
I'm just looking for extra security. I mean, they could be trying to hurt me or something. I want to make sure that they there when the proper people come or when I'm something.
Lord have mercy. It's time to put you in a home. Speaking of schools, so there is this I believe he's like 14, 15, 16 years old around that age. So he was diagnosed with he had a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. And he had like a vape pen that had like weed in it that he was using at school to help with the pain. And he was given, a certain amount of time to live. And this is why I say kids of this generation amaze me. So this kid who was basically cancer, had cancer and had a death sentence. Basically, all he wanted to do was spend the last few weeks of his life going to school and being a normal kid and spending time with his friends before he passed away. The school, he was using the vape pen at school, and the school kicked him out of school and expelled him. So all the children.
Go ahead. I got a response to that.
All the children at the school who were students at the school, they did a walkout, and they did not go to school for 3 days. They stood out, literally went every day they were supposed to be at school. They stood outside the school and protested and all these other kinds peacefully until the school decided to let the child return to school.
Because he had the killer. He had the killer in that vape pen. They was fucking up.
But it was for like his symptoms.
So yes and no. Okay, what state was this in?
I don't remember.
Okay, so a couple of things that I would think of. Number one, is it legal? Right? Like, did they have like a med card and they can get it from the doctor? Right?
It came from his doctor. It came from his doctor, and it was for the nausea and everything else that come with being a cancer patient.
Number two, schools have rules for reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not all the parents of those children will want their kids to be exposed to that, no matter what the reason. So, true. Number three, I feel like if it was for symptoms, then the child should have had an allotted time to go away or out somewhere where they could, smoke get the symptoms, right? So I feel like it was a lot of kind of like that. Now, if he just in class, then yes, I can see what the problem was. And it probably was the kid probably got kicked out because kids were coming back. Now, this person is doing this, X, Y, and Z, and the parents have concern because they understand the severity of the situation. But at the same time, I mean, in real life, you can't really expose, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kids to certain things. So no drugs, no guns in school.
Yeah, true. I agree from that standpoint.
So, but yeah, I mean, if they knew, so if the child said, well, I want to come back to school, this is my dying wish, then the parents should have sat down and said, well, I mean, when I fill out things for my children, I have to fill out paperwork for any prescription medication that my child has to take, and I have to tell them when they have to take it. So then the school could have facilitated for the child, like I said, to have time to take medication. I'm pretty sure it was more medication than that, unless they had stopped taking other medications. They were on hospice. Maybe they stopped treatment. Yeah, they were just treating the symptoms.
Yeah, so he was given. It was like maybe a month or so left to live. So it was like. He was like, I just want to go to school and be normal with my friends. And the doctor was like, okay, well, wrote him out his prescription for weed and said, use this to help with at least be able to eat and whatever.
And I understand that, but it's still rules in play because I mean, This kid
I
probably
don't
wasn't.
think.
This
Uh,
kid isn't the first. This isn't the as bad as it sounds. This isn't the first time a child died from cancer.
true. And I don't know. I don't know if he was using it in the classroom. So I feel like, because I believe, like you said, most of the time when it comes to stuff like that, and it's considered like a medication or something like that. Because I know when I was going to school, like kids who were diabetic and required like an insulin shot at a certain time or whatever, they always had to go to the school nurse at a certain time to get whatever it is that they were supposed to get, and then they go. Yes.
And piggybacking off of that, when I was in high school, I did have a type 1 diabetic in my class. And after lunch, I had a class with her after lunch, and she would always have like juice or a candy bar or something on her desk. And the other kids was like, well, how come we can't eat in class? You know, I went to a Catholic high school. They're very strict. Why we can't eat in
Mm-hmm.
class until she started passing out and having seizures.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like it kind of trickled down. Well, she's a type 1 diabetic. So what was happening, you know, they do insulin with meals. So we were just right after lunch, and maybe the insulin dosage wasn't right for her, but she was bottoming out, and she was going into having diabetic seizures. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why she had the juice and the candy bar on her desk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
A lot of times that comes from they sugar. They
so
sugar
that's
and
so So that's totally different though from smoking weed at school.
Yeah.
Because
So.
as much as we feel like it should be legal, it's only legal by states and or is it the federal government hasn't made it legal. It's still a scheduled narcotic.
Yeah, but why
That.
would they schedule? Why would they let him come back into the building? And just per se saying he get to carry the pen with him. Why
So
would
I
you
don't know
do
what the
that? And then
circumstances were behind in the child coming back, but maybe that was one of the things. Hey, he can't smoke around other kids. Or he or
right,
she.
that's what I'm saying. Well, if he came back, if the teacher or the nurse had to hold on to the pen, why would it be such a big issue unless he was told and directed to carry it around himself, like you said, in case he was smoking in the class? If that was me, I'd be like, damn, dog, pass that motherfucker or something. But, I mean, that's the only way I could see them kicking them back out of the school. If not, why even bother?
Yeah.
I
Sure.
mean, yeah, I think the school probably was trying to, it was the, the last few weeks of this child's life. But I mean, they have rules to follow. They do.
Well, I look at it like this. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts. The only reason why they let the kid come back if it would have been one of you or me or Montreal wouldn't have never got back in there because of skin. But and money. So that's the way I look at it. I mean, that's the only reason why he was allowed
I mean,
to even try
I
to come
mean
back.
that. I mean that because like the school wasn't budging on him being expelled until the students went and protested. When the students did the walk out and the students refused, the whole entire school, they refused to come to school until they let him come back to school. And then that's when the school's like, okay, yeah, we need to just go ahead and let him come back to school.
Well, the only way the rules gonna be rules if and not be able to stand up. Parents, us as being parents and people in the school got to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happened with that situation, everybody wasn't on the same page, or it might have been one person that decided that they wanted to go right instead of left.
Right.
I just feel
Uh,
like it was, a rule. Somebody, a parent or somebody showed concern. It could have been a staff member. You never know. Somebody said, hey, this kid can't be smoking in school, or whatever. And they had to follow the rules. So I don't know what led up to the kid getting kicked out of school. Like, did the parents sit down and talk to the administration or whatever it was? But whatever led up to the kid being kicked out of school, and then whatever they did to push it through to get the person back in school. Like I feel like it was a whole negotiation process. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
but I mean that's I don't know. I feel like school is just one of them places that um they're gonna say drugs shouldn't be in, and it's probably gonna always be like that.
I mean, like here they got where anytime you driving past the school, it said this is a drug-free zone.
Hmm.
I don't know if they still got those signs posted, but I remember being younger and seeing those signs.
When you walk up to the door, say it. No drugs, no guns. And
Uh,
say,
with with that being said, because we got 10
I
minutes
can't
left, you
wait.
know, some of you know, old man theater can drag on this next part of the show. Let's head into final thoughts.
oh, final thoughts. I'm really disturbed about the school shootings, especially because I have school age kids. I was reading the comments on that post, and it's a lot of people that was like, this is why I homeschool my kids, this, that, and the other, so on and so forth. I absolutely feel like that the American government should really put something into play. I would have loved to see Biden have pushed for, safety in schools as far as the right to bear arms and putting limitations on that. I feel like that's going to be a very hard thing to come by, right? So I really don't see that, limiting the type of like limiting people being able to carry guns, other than like felons and stuff like that. Then you got your people that can carry specialty weapons that have been trained for, like police officers, military, stuff like that. So, like you said, it's always going to be somebody's going to be able to get their hand on a gun. Plus people out here that want to stir the pot are putting guns and drugs into the community, period. Even though
Mm-hmm.
even though they know it's a law against it, and they pretend like, oh, we're fighting the war on guns and drugs, they're really the ones putting it into our communities, and that's been like that from the beginning of this country. So I would really like to see um, some stricter laws, or just putting things into effect so we can save our babies, right? Because that's our future. Because we gonna get old and die. So who gonna run our country and make it better for our species, right? So that's my final thought.
My final thought is damn better not be Trump. And I feel like they should stop letting Trump bully the system, because that's what he's doing. And the shit makes me fucking sick every time I see that. What color is his hair again? Orange? Orange haired
I think
motherfucker.
that's the skin.
His skin is orange, his hair is blonde.
Well, whatever the fuck. He's all fucked up. But anyway, they should ban him from any kind of social media, anything that deals with TV. And oh, man, I'm just so sick of seeing that motherfucker. And I just feel like he just holding everybody fucking hostage, because he know that he done fucked up, but he constantly, to me, manipulate the system. And I'm tired of it. Why try to run again to fuck up the world even more? Go back to doing cartoons or whatever the fuck he used to do. I don't know. But that's my pet beef and shit. I'm sick of Trump.
Um, he used to run the Apprentice TV show. That's what he's known for. So to second old man theater, yeah, something needs to be done about Trump. I think a lot of the hate that's been spread, whether it's racial, homophobia, whatever it is, like a lot of this hate that's just been going around in this world lately, I feel like it all started with him. Like at least when people were racist, they used to be in a closet with it, or they figure out it wasn't another way to be racist without people being like, "Hey, you're racist." If you know what I was trying to say, right? You know, it was just a different time. You know, and like a lot of this, it just became so. People have just become so openly with just hating people until when Trump got in office, and they just got so open with it, and he started all this, and it's like it should ill, and we need to, like Martina said, we need to protect these children out here, the next generation of children. We need to protect them. It's already bad enough the old man theater generation is the cause of global warming that they never fix, and they go in his generation to go die off and leave the world with that problem that they created, along with that nuclear power plant that you got to build a whole nother concrete keep around it to keep it from all the stuff, radiation from getting out, which was caused by his generation also. So we gotta fix this generation, because my generation is full of alcoholics. We just didn't have time to fix it. So the generation in front of us, they gotta fix all of millennial the problem that the millennials, the Gen X, and the damn boomers cause. I feel so sad for them, and we need to figure out a way to community to get people out to vote. Man theater don't believe in voting. We need to figure out a way how to get people out to vote more, and we need to break. People need to take the time to learn how government work and how laws and stuff is passed. That's what we need to do out here.
And don't be throwing me out there on the bus, under the bus like that. It ain't that I don't believe in voting. I just don't trust the system. Fuck, I'll vote for Buckwheat any
So,
day.
tell them about our the after hours.
Oh,
yeah, bring your own alcohol. Oh,
make sure y'all check out the after set. We probably might record on Thursday, maybe a piece of after set. I think that's maybe Thursday, Saturday. I don't know. One of these days this week we record the episode for the after set. So make sure y'all subscribe to that. It's $4.99 a month. I know y'all got $4.99 a month to subscribe to that. And if y'all want some good details, like on here we kind of filter some of the things when we talking about people in our lives. We kind of filter it for y'all on this version of the podcast. But if y'all want the unfiltered version, let us know. And subscribe to the after set on the subscription only services on Spotify, and we'll give y'all all the goods on what's going on.
Juicy.
Yeah, the juicy, and we won't leave our names. So at this point, we're not reporting our lives. Like, yeah, we said it. What the fuck you gonna do about it?
And we'll fuck around and show their faces on here too. We ain't like that.
Well, it's audio only, so they won't see the video of our part of.
Well, we'll show them on this podcast then. On our podcast, we ain't like that. I ain't like that. Get the
and don't forget to head over to habitsnewyork.com and use code Anthony4 to receive 20% off your purchase. And at repsports.com and use code MARTA1 to receive 5 to 10% off your purchase. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, which is Facebook is Same Cast Different Day Podcast. Instagram and TikTok, you search under SCDD Podcast to find us on there. And check out our website, which I don't remember the website name, but make sure y'all go somewhere out there in the world,
my goodness,
internet world, and find it.
Can I promote myself? If anybody's out there looking for any Frenchie puppies, pure breed, holla at me. They're not cheap, so don't come trying to lowball me. Because if so, you won't get it. I got a litter going on.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Same Cast, Different Day Podcast. Signing off, and we'll see you guys again on the next episode.
Bye.
Deuces.
It ain't no sound for some reason.